Okay, folks, here is the plan. I'm going to read a question, then I'm going to pause. Actually, you're going to pause. You solve the problem, and then you can check back after you finish the problem and see if my answer and your answer agree. So here we go. First one, number one. Put the parentheses in the correct location to make the problem easier to solve. All right, when you look at the problem, you can see that they don't have common denominators. You've got three mixed numbers, but the denominators, there's a fourth, there's a half, don't all match. So the easiest thing to do with parentheses would be to put them around the ones, the fractions that already have the same denominator. All right, and this actually gets really super easy and awesome because when you add 3.5 and 2.5, since they both have halves, 2 halves makes 1 whole. And then you've got 3 plus 2. So basically, it's 1 plus 3 plus 2. So this right here is worth a grand total of 6. Now in the problem, you still have 7.25 to add to it. Well, it's really easy to add a whole number to a mixed number because you don't have to worry about the denominators. So basically the problem is 7.25 plus 6. So 6 plus 7 would be what, 13? And don't forget about the fourth, that matters. It's small, but it counts. So there was question number 1 for you. Now we'll go on to question 2. In question 2, it says Jack walked 4/10 of a mile on Monday and walked 8/10 of a mile on Tuesday. About how far did Jack walk? Okay, well, you have 4 choices here: add, subtract, multiply, or divide. And the one that seems to make the most sense in this problem would be to add. So you're going to add 4/10 plus 8/10. So this is going to be a fairly simple one. 4/10 plus 8/10. Not the best 8 I ever drew, but you'll forgive me, I hope. 8 plus 4 would be 12. And as you know, the denominator will stay 10 since they already agree. No need to change that. And you get 12/10. Now, by looking at 12/10, you realize that that is not an answer that's very useful to most people because it's an improper fraction, and typically we don't go around talking about improper fractions. So you have to either basically look at this and eyeball it, or you can do a division problem. If you choose to do a division problem, you're going to do the numerator divided by 10, the denominator, and you'll get 1/10 out of there. Subtract it, you'll get 2, and this will become 2. Remember, this number and this number are the important ones for the remainder. So 2 becomes the numerator, and 10 becomes the denominator. Now you're looking at this answer and you're going, yay, I got 1 2/10, I'm finished. Not quite. You still can simplify because you see you have 2 even numbers for the fraction. So you can simplify them both by 2, which would basically knock it down to, I believe, 1/5. Check my work on that, kids. I have a fever after all. 2 divided by 2 would be 1, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Whoa, what's that? So my final answer is going to be 1 1/5. Let me write the 5, would you? Well, anyway, that 5 is supposed to be there, as you know, and it's always smart to circle your final answer to help your teacher locate your thinking. Okay, one more to go. Next one says, Amber is a bracelet maker. She can make 1,254 bracelets a week. This is a busy person. They're shipped in boxes that contain exactly 12 bracelets. How many boxes containing exactly 12 can Amber fill? Explain how you use the quotient and the remainder to answer the question. All right, again, you're left to figure this out, like what operation makes sense, adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing. Now, if you think about a big pile of 1,254 bracelets and you have to put them in boxes, again and again and again and again, you realize that this is division. So you're going to do the division problem, 1,254 divided by 12. Okay, can 12 go into 1? No, it can't. You can either put an X there or leave it blank. Can 12 go into 12? Yes, it can, exactly one time. 12 times 1 is 12. Subtract, get 0, bring down a 5. This is where some people might get tripped up if you're not careful. You still ask the same question, can you get a 12 out of 5? The answer is no. But remember, the number that means no is 0. Okay, so that's a 0. 12 times 0 is 0. And you'll get 5 down there again, and now you bring down 4. 54, okay. How many 12s can you get out of that? Well, I know from experience that 5 12s is 60, and that would be too much, so I'm guessing 4 is probably the best answer here. Oh, no, I did it again. I'll put a 4 there, and 12 times 4 is 48. Not again. Ah, this is terrible. Okay. You can handle this. All right, I got 12 times 4 is 48. They're so close together, I know that it's 6 from experience. Get back up there. Okay, 6. So our quotient, not again. Our quotient is 104. And our remainder is 6. Now you could do that as a fraction and do 6 out of, remember the numbers that matter, this one and this one. So you'll get 6 12ths. It's just not my night. Okay, there we go. All right. So explain how you use the quotient and remainder to answer the question. You'd probably say something like, she can pack exactly 104 boxes. There'll be a half of a box left because 6 out of 12 is a half. But ultimately, the answer that matters the most is 104. So that's going to be our first video. There'll be another video that you can follow the link to do some more questions. Hope you did well.